If you want some red velvet cake ice cream this Juneteenth and beyond, support Black-owned Creamalicious, which is available at Target. So we've gotten to the point where we have a national holiday where it's like, Walmart, we don't want you to commercialize it, but you can go to Target. That's better? Tell me, if it's not a holiday to be celebrated nationally and commercialized equally, regardless of race, by Walmart or Target or whoever else, what the hell is it? What is this day? Why is it a national holiday? There was a big to-do about Juneteenth recently, and it all surrounded around Walmart. Walmart decided to make some money off of this holiday. And there was a big uproar again on Twitter. A lot of it focused on Twitter. Yes, Twitter, that platform that we should all be acknowledging as the most important social media site for politics in our nation. Walmart now apologizes for Juneteenth ice cream flavor after backlash. So the backlash came from Walmart capitalizing on Juneteenth with a new flavor of ice cream. Walmart is apologizing for this new flavor of ice cream. It was called Juneteenth because it sparked so much criticism. In a statement to CBS Money Watch, Walmart said it's reviewing its product assortment and will remove appropriate. It added, Juneteenth holiday marks a celebration of freedom and independence. However, we received feedback that a few items caused concern for some of our customers, and we sincerely apologize. I don't blame them for apologizing. They received a lot of negative feedback and heat, and they were adjusting to the feedback from the people. They had this red velvet and cheesecake. It drew fire on it because they said Walmart was tone deaf because the new ice cream flavor was sold by a company founded by a white family. So we have a holiday now, a national holiday, mind you, that if it's an ice cream flavor with the branding of the holiday and it's owned by a white family, it's now a problem. Things are deteriorating very quickly, as you can see. This Twitter account, Unique's Plain, my 2 scoops on why the Celebrate Juneteenth ice cream is anti-Juneteenth. Unique goes on to say it's problematic when white-owned brands and companies treat Juneteenth as another commercialized co-op opportunity void of any commitments to the African American community, change, or simple understanding of what Juneteenth is. I understand wanting to show support as a brand or being concerned about how your stakeholders might feel if you are quiet on June 19th. I'm having these same convos with my clients, but if you lack commitment and investment, etc., being quiet is best. This ice cream was created by the Balchem company, but they didn't just make the ice cream, they also trademarked Juneteenth. The application was filed September 2021. The same year, Juneteenth was made an official federal holiday. But why? Why was it important for this company to own Juneteenth in this category? Isn't that a little anti-Juneteenth? You know, ownership and all? Perhaps they have a strong commitment to diversity and have pledged their financial support to the African American community as well. However, there is no diversity amongst their leadership team. There are no black leaders on their website, nor are there any black members on their board. So what's the real scoop? As someone who had BJ's ripped off my trademark, because of them, we can go logo and design in celebration of Black History Month via a major vendor. Stuff like this, big corporations and their empty commitments really grinds my gears. If you want some red velvet cake ice cream this Juneteenth and beyond, support Black-owned Creamalicious, which is available at Target. So we've gotten to the point where we have a national holiday where it's like, Walmart, we don't want you to commercialize it, but you can go to Target. That's better? We're good with commercializing everything. This represents the lack of awareness and the poor strategy for those who identify as African American in this community that they call it. I don't associate because I don't have the same ideology. Obviously, the skin color is the same, But you know the saying, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. You're not on my team. So we're good with commercializing Jesus, Christmas, Easter. We're good with Black Lives Matter commercializing dead black bodies. We're good with Joe Biden commercializing dead black bodies for political benefit after Buffalo. We're good with Beto O'Rourke and many others commercializing dead bodies in general after a tragic shooting in Texas. Tell me, if it's not a holiday to be celebrated nationally and commercialized equally, regardless of race, by Walmart or Target or whoever else, what the hell is it? What is this day? Why is it a national holiday? I talked about this before. I'm going to leave out with that. I'm not for the holiday, and the reaction to Walmart commercializing it represents the lack of understanding of how our system works from many African Americans, people who are in that realm. Actually, this Unique, who I read the thread from, it looked like she had a pretty good understanding. She had a little bit of drops in there about her business, what she does, and not to go to Walmart. Don't commercialize at Walmart. Go to Target. Why? Because reportedly that the ice cream is made by a black family. I'm going to leave you out with my thoughts on Juneteenth. Let me know. Am I out of line? Take care. In the midst of our new American culture of divisiveness, whether it's 1-6, Antifa, BLM protests, or parents standing up against critical race theory being taught in schools, we need holidays more than ever that bring us together under one flag and one common identity first, which is as Americans. If that triggers you, you are making my point. I understand most here in DC are going to vote for it because it isn't the hill they are ready to die on. I don't want to be here in DC representing my constituents and our country if any identity is going to come above our nation. Anything I do here won't be good enough for you because you'll always be expecting something special based on your intersectionality. That is not an indictment only on the left. We know they are huge into intersectionality. I don't need to go deep into that. We know they are into identity first. I don't need to go deep into that. But there are many fake patriots out there as well. Anderson .Paak has this song with Dr. Dre from a few years ago, and it's called Animals. And it breaks it down perfectly. So if you're waving the flag, I want you to listen to this and understand maybe you are a part of our country and really mean it, but maybe you could do more. Here's Anderson .Paak's first verse on that song. Bullets still ringing, blood on the cement, black folks grieving, headlines reading. Trying to pay it no mind, you just living your life. Everyone is a witness. Everyone's got opinions. Got a son of my own, look him right in his eyes. I ain't living in fear, but I'm holding him tight. And the chorus goes, and please don't come around these parts and tell me we all a bunch of animals. The only time they want to turn the cameras on is when we're effing stuff up. And the old folks tell me it's been going on since back in the day, but that don't make it okay. And them white folks tell me all the looting and shooting's insane, but you don't know our pain. I don't condone looting. I don't condone violence, but that way that he ended that chorus about you don't know our pain, and he put white folks, but it can be anybody. Everyone doesn't know his pain, and it's not just a white or black or anything else issue. If you drive around, if you have an American flag outside your house, if you put country first, and you don't feel the pain of those who believe they're oppressed, whether that's accurate or not, they are Americans. And if you truly embrace that flag, then you do care. You should put pressure on every member of Congress to do something, to make sure we feel ownership of our country first. You can't just make people feel that. We, the people, through our acts and our caring, bring everyone into the fold. So there's a coming together from all sides that needs to happen. Juneteenth was not some grassroots effort, though, and Juneteenth doesn't help that unification. I view it as an anti-Trump national holiday. Juneteenth was a local story, tradition. If we are to make this a national holiday, it cannot be under the auspice of stating our country is currently oppressive. There is no nation in the world that doesn't have oppression. The only place that doesn't have oppression is in heaven, nirvana, utopia. In Africa and Brazil, there are many areas where almost everyone has dark skin, yet lighter people are treated differently. That is the nature of man. It is our sin. When you tuck your kids in at night, do you ask them, what are the things that oppressed you today? Or do you ask them, what are you grateful for? I've listened to many people speak about Juneteenth, from Vice President Kamala Harris to President Barack Obama and Representative Barbara Lee. I haven't heard one of them or any other leader connect this holiday to patriotism, to being grateful that our ancestors survived one of the most horrific Holocaust and inhumane acts ever in the world. They survived it to give us this moment and opportunity to embrace what it means to be American and to shape this country into what we want it to be. I haven't heard that, not once. That's not a national holiday. That's a subnational local celebration. Why didn't President Barack Obama or Vice President at the time, Joe Biden, or Speaker Pelosi or Schumer or anyone else push to make Juneteenth a federal holiday a decade ago? This holiday didn't get national prominence until President Trump scheduled a rally on June 19th of 2020 last year, which he ended up rescheduling because of pushback. Juneteenth was born from Trump scheduling a rally on that day. Like everything else going sideways in our country, the establishment's hate with that man has the media lying to us, big tech censoring us, and there's this pressure to disavow him that has become more important than running a functional society. If you disagree with that, you can have your opinion, but I don't have time for your disingenuous, righteous indignation. No one prominent was talking about Juneteenth as a holiday before Trump scheduled that rally last year. The late John McCain held a political event on June 19th, 2008. Not a peep from anybody. Look at the graph of Google searches for Juneteenth. It doesn't spike until last year. Every national holiday should be out of love for our nation. Not hate for what it is now, not hate for what happened in history, and not spawned out of hate for one man. Oh, if it isn't about Trump, if it isn't just an identity over country holiday, then why not create the holiday on September 22nd, marking the day September 22nd, 1862, when Lincoln announced his executive order, now known as the Emancipation Proclamation? Why not choose 1865 when the 13th Amendment was ratified on December 6th? Those are discussions I could potentially support. I am a first-generation Black American. My parents taught us growing up in Cleveland, Ohio, to love ourselves while learning history. They taught my brothers and I, regardless of what history tells us, there's a decision we have to make. Does it turn us towards love or hate? And that decision is yours. It is not history. It is not anyone else's. That is 100% in your control. Does that turn you towards hate or love? She didn't force us into either decision. She taught us. We made the decision. My brothers and I turned that into love of fellow citizen. I reject anything else, and I reject Juneteenth as a holiday under this premise. Take care.